She just gave birth. Days later, the father of her child is on live stream, humiliating her in front of millions, publicly calling her fat, publicly disrespecting her, while she's recovering postpartum.
You fucking keep trying to like talk back, like, just get the shit. God damn. You talking about fruit snacks? Bitch, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Why are you calling me a bitch?
Now you're making me mad.
Why are you calling me a
making me mad.
bitch? Why are you calling me a bitch?
What the fuck?
Holding their newborn son. But while the internet was focused on the drama, no one was asking the real question. Why was she eating spoonfuls of cornstarch? Blueface and Nevaeh Akira welcomed their son, Jonathan Jamal Porter Jr., on August 18. Days later, clips from his Kick livestream went viral. She confronted him about his contact with his ex-girlfriend. He insulted her, humiliated her, called her big as right to her face in front of thousands of viewers. Comments flooded in calling him abusive and toxic. And in the background of all that chaos, she was eating cornstarch. Now here's the part the gossip channels missed. There's a name for this. It's called Amylophagia, the consumption of raw starches. It's a specific type of pica. Pica is the craving and intentional consumption of substances that are not culturally defined as food, dirt, clay, laundry starch, and cornstarch. And here's what's genuinely unsettling. Pica impacts pregnant women across the globe, including women in the U.S., particularly African American, Hispanic, and rural populations. The prevalence is staggering. In California, researchers found that 51% of Hispanic women had the condition during pregnancy. In North Carolina, 38% of rural women had Pica. Yet 75% of the participants had no documentation of the condition in their medical records. 75%. The vast majority of these women were never diagnosed. What we do know is that scientists suspect a connection to iron deficiency. It's possible the body is trying to obtain vitamins or minerals missing through normal food consumption. But here's the irony. Eating these non-food substances often makes the problem worse. It reduces nutrient absorption. It can expose mother and fetus to toxins and parasites. And here's where it gets even more alarming. A 2000 study published in the Archives of Family Medicine reported 2 cases of gestational diabetes that were resistant to initial dietary management. Don't believe me? The link and sourcing will be in the description so you can read it yourself. In this study, both patients were consuming half to 1 box of cornstarch per day. When they stopped the amylophagia, the gestational hyperglycemia spontaneously resolved. Let me say that again. The cornstarch consumption was the missing piece, not just a harmless craving, but an overlooked factor in gestational diabetes. Now, some of you might be thinking, what about resistant starch? Isn't there research showing that certain starches can be fermented by gut bacteria and produce butyrate? Yes, there is. Studies on resistant starch do suggest potential benefits for glucose and insulin sensitivity. But here's the distinction. That research uses a specific product, high amylose cornstarch. Not the same thing as opening a box and eating a spoonful. Ordinary cornstarch is highly digestible. And when we see someone eating spoonfuls of it, especially during or after pregnancy, that's not a wellness hack. That's a medical flag. Nevaeh Akira is now a new mother. We don't know her health history, but what we do know is this. Her partner publicly humiliated her. Her behavior was broadcast to millions, and researchers say Pica is both underreported and underdiagnosed because of shame and fear of being stigmatized. So here's what I want you to consider. If you're experiencing unusual cravings, especially during pregnancy, that's not something to hide. And it's not something to post for views. It's something to discuss with your healthcare provider. Pay attention to what happens in your own body. Let your body be part of the evidence. And remember, You're the CEO of your own health, because today's facts can become tomorrow's fallacies. We're still learning about Pica. We're still learning about iron deficiency. We're still learning about why the body craves what it craves. What else are we getting wrong right now? Stick around. The rabbit hole goes deeper than you think.